All right. I love global conversations, and this one's as exciting as ever. So here we are, Beirut to meet Los Angeles, basically. And Alain, great to have you on our Leaders Who Care series. Welcome.
Thank you, Mark. It's a pleasure to be here.
I'm sure you're going to make your dad Nabil and your family proud on all this. And as we were joking, who knows? Maybe the Los Angeles movie agents will start approaching you soon. But no, really happy to have you here and get to know you a little bit better and share a little bit of your story that I think people should know. So to start, how about if you just briefly introduce yourself, who you are, family a little bit, and a little bit of what you do now, and then we'll get into it a little bit more.
Great. So my name is Alain Khoury. I work in the logistics sector industry. It's a second generation. It's a family business. We started the business 50 years ago, and it handles the shipping, clearance, and warehousing activities locally in Lebanon. All right. So I took over 7 years ago from my dad, and business was going pretty good until the explosion that happened in the 4th of August last year, where we lost our offices, we lost our warehouse, and we practically lost everything. We rebuilt the company. We managed to get it back on its feet. And we also managed to keep all our employees working without having anyone leave the company. My education was in banking and finance. I was hoping to do a master's abroad, but didn't have time to do that. I started working at an early age, and that's pretty much it.
And you have family, you know.
I have a sister that tries to work with us, but it's not too friendly environment for girls at the port in Beirut. So she just launched her online store, and it's also going well. And she's the first time she feels she has accomplished something of her own, and she's kind of excited. She's very excited about it. So just me and my sister.
No, that's great. She should be excited about it. That's an achievement, and what you guys have done is an achievement too. I want to give out, shout out to Imad who introduced us also, and let him know, thanks for that. And I'd love you to, before we go deeper, I'd like to ask people why they do what they do. So tell me what, I know this is a family business, but your dad, why do you do what you do?
It's actually a very good question. I was born into my business. I did not choose to do what I do right now. Mm-hmm. But it turned out that I had a couple of business coaching lessons, and I found out that what I love doing is to build and accomplish businesses. So I worked on having the business run by itself so that I can proceed forward and do something different, something on the side that I would like to do. I'm currently launching a mobile online therapy application, which is currently under development. I learned during this period how to trade in the stock market, how to invest my money that we have abroad. So concerning the industry I am in right now, I was born into it, but I love accomplishing things. So it's not the actual industry that I like, it's the actual fact that running a business, achieving my goals, having building a good culture in my company, having my employees embrace this culture, and giving them the authority and the delegation enough to be able to grow it themselves. So I'm at that stage right now in the business.
No, that's fantastic. I know in the logistics arena, it's every single business has logistics, has supply chain as a major core of their business. You're really touching, more than just shipping this to that.
Right. It's a little bit because Lebanon is a super importing country. We import 90% of our products, so you can't launch a business in Lebanon unless you have the logistic part covered up. So that gave us a lot of market to work in Lebanon, and I think it's pretty much important because it's about having these products enter Lebanon, having a good price for them, being able to price them properly in the market. It's kind of a continuity for the trading companies we have, and we like to think that we are partners for these trading companies, because as much as I make the cost and service better for them, as much as they grow also at the same time. So it's a kind of a partnership with all the companies we work with.
You plan to provide them therapy too?
I hope so. I really believe that everyone needs therapy. I got into it just after reading a book, and it turned out really, really extremely helpful. So I would love to offer my services to all my customers.
Yeah,
Because they're open about it.
we all need it. Remind me to introduce you to a resource that we recommend to clients. It's called Nonflict, and it's a program that coaches people how to look at conflict differently. Not like you have to hate people, but it's just different ideas, conflict, and how do you get through it. It's really cool. You have a quote that I saw, I guess, on your website. It says, "Through the years, we've shaped a do whatever it takes attitude to keep our company at the top of its game," which really, caught my attention. And your situation recently and even over the years has certainly tested your resilience and your commitment to your own company and your clients. And tell us what you've had to do to rebuild, and how you've been, what this series is called, how you've been really leaders who care about your employees.
That's a good question too, and I have to give credit to my employees. After the explosion that happened, I got badly injured, so I spent like a month at home. I couldn't move because of my injuries, and we haven't had an office, so we didn't have an actual physical location where we could work. But luckily, and because of my employees, they started working the next day. Luckily, no one was at the office at the time that this happened.
Wow.
So every one of my employees of my teammates, I don't like to call them employees, every one of my teammates started working from home. They managed to get the process and the flow of work done without any problem, and up until I could get back, and until we could have taken a physical location where we can move part of the co-workers in a single place. So I really have to give credit a lot for my teammates at first. Second, we had the support of our customers. This also played a huge role, because they did not leave us. They did not go to other companies. They wanted to support us after all that's happened, and they kept their business with us no matter the situation, because the situation was really very hard in terms of offering good service while the port was not working properly. There was basically nothing left at the port. So first the teammates, second the customers, and then it's all about the resilience and how hungry you want to get back up.
Yeah, you remind me of another executive I spoke to that's we had a conversation about how do you survive challenges as great as they are, and usually it's the ones that have great communications with their employees before something really terrible happens, so that if there's something that happens with business, a lot of times the employees then come and say, well, okay, let's figure this out together, because there are, and I like your term teammates, because they are your teammates in that respect. So it's wonderful to hear that, and it's it's what we need more of working together, in the world in general. And what I found also, since we talk about how we work with leaders who care, it's really taken decades to almost get to the point where a company's purpose and interest in making an impact socially, not just only making money, it really is vital to keep your teammates, to attract good teammates, to attract good and keep them. But it's also really good for business to have, to have that purpose. And I noted that, you do operate as a team, as you say, with your customers' business in mind, which sounds so simple, but not everybody knows how to do it. And you believe that your work culture is what keeps your services top notch, and it's something that you don't compromise on. So share with us how you see that your business does thrive and does do better when you care about the impact that you're making.
That's a very good question. I completely agree with all what you said, and I need to add here that it's about I've inherited the company, if I might say, from my dad, which used to have an old culture, which does not embrace a lot of delegation, a lot of handing over responsibilities. It works on one-man shows more than holding a team responsible, delegating, and all that new culture, if I might say. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of hard to shift from an old school company to this new culture, because you have employees that used to work for your dad long time ago, and now they're working for the company. It's as if you're working for someone and then shifting towards working for the company, putting the company first, putting its service first, putting the customer first. So what I worked on is to change this old culture, which was super hard to do, and it's an ongoing process. It never ends. You never get to a point where, okay, the culture is good, the team is good. It's an ongoing process every week to train the employees, to train the teammates, to give them this sense of responsibility, to delegate, to ask their opinion, to let them do their job the way they want to do it, to check, to ask their perspective of things. So just talking to them, giving them this responsibility, having weekly meetings with them. This is what changed our company. It's not more than that, because the service is fixed. You should do this and that. It's a matter of how you do it, and the thing that happened is that when I gave this responsibility for my teammates, it really changed the way they wanted to work. They felt more responsible. They we don't have a time attendance. I leave them working. They can work from home. They can work at the company. They can come as they please. I don't push them to fill in these times. They know what they have to do. I trust them to do what they have to do. So it reached this stage. So I can practically leave the company, and it can run by itself. They can know how to grow, where to focus, where not to focus, how to handle our customers. So it's really now about that, and how to give a social impact. I will be fully honest. We're not very good at that right now, but I'm surely looking into where we can give social contributions from ASL to our society, and I'm sure we're gonna get there as soon as we just catch a break right here in whatever is happening in this region.
Well, I think you've started making a social impact because of what you're number one, calling them teammates and treating them that way. I mean, let's face it, most people want to be trusted. Most people want to, there's an expression, if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life.
Right.
It's a great expression. It's not easy all the time because it doesn't mean you love everything you do, but it certainly makes a difference. And and I had another executive tell me that it's much easier for him to be the CEO now and be vulnerable, because he doesn't have to know everything anymore.
Right.
It's a lot easier not to be the one that has to know everything to do.
Correct.
So it makes it super easy. On another note, my grandparents were from Kiev. I grew up in Canada. My grandparents were from Kiev, and I remember they would always say, with their accent, as long as you have your health, that's the most important thing, is what they would say. And then they would say, of course, education. So, I look at that, and considering all that's been going on in the world, COVID, the challenges you've had, tensions in the world, including the Middle East. I mean, you name it, Mother Nature is not happy. And every God that we all know is not happy with things. Have you seen in any way, let's call it an awakening, or people realizing what's really important to us or to them?
Yes, of course. I've had that after the explosion, because I was at home and I was at the balcony actually taking a video of the fire before the explosion, and it blew right in front of my face. That's how I got my injuries. So after that, I realized that I need to balance my life a bit more. I was so focused on work, so focused on accomplishing my goals, accomplishing that. And that's where I thought, no, I need to balance my life in terms of taking care of my family, spending time with my family more, spending time with friends more. And then the purpose of your work, the meaning of the purpose of your work changes. It's when I realized that I don't want to have a company just to make money. I want my company to actually contribute to society. I want my company to grow. I want my company to do something good, because that's how a company will get remembered, and that's how I will be. That's how ASL will think that it's being compensated for whatever it's done. Money is easy to do, so it's the contribution that gives the purpose for the company, and that really gives this fulfilling feeling that you're doing something good. So that's the awakening I had after, if you might say, after I thought I was going to lose my life. I wanted to do so. I wanted to do it differently. I didn't want to build a company just to make money. I want my company to have a purpose, and to change, and to do as much impact, good impact to society as it can.
And it's interesting. We've found, which is why this is called Leaders Who Care, and I see it happening with you, because you work globally. Obviously you work globally with companies. If you actually, as you do, care about the customer, then it becomes a different type of relationship, and it also becomes economic interdependence. And if you have economic interdependence, the relationship will usually grow, and there's a better chance you might not want to bomb each other also.
Right. That's super true. It's part of our values is committing to serve our customers. We do whatever we can to really find the best solution, the best service, the best thing we can do for our customers. So that is where my team and I started thinking that it's more than just getting point A to point B.
Right.
It's about helping our customers get this thing from point A to point B. So from this aspect, all of us have changed, because when your company's purpose is different, and it shows that it really needs to help people instead of only getting paid for doing that, automatically all the team will change the way it's doing business, and will change the way they think about a company.
And then business is actually even better at the end of that.
And that's how your customers, when they see you treating them this way, and seeing a company that's actually not only caring about doing about doing money, that's where also you help change other companies, because that's
right.
the benefits of let's say you transcend whatever you do to others. So my teammates, they change their brothers, their families. So, and we change our customers change their customers. That's how I like to think about it. And that's actually one thing my business coach taught me. He wrote it down, a sentence, and he told me to write down 600 benefits for it. And I actually thought, in 600, I tried to do that. I came up with 10. And then next week I came up with only 10 more. And that's how I thought that no, because that's where the concept came in. You know, if I change, I help others change, and they help others change, and that's how you can create a beneficial thing for much. That's the contribution you have. What you do, it impacts a lot more than what you think.
Yeah, I think that that's brilliant, and I think we're finally, hopefully, getting to realize that you can make money and do good at the same time, and it really does work. Hey, with 2020 gone, 2021 almost
Almost
gone
gone.
already, which is unbelievable. In fact, one of our clients had a great line. He said, "The year has flown by slowly."
That's a good way to see it. Yeah.
It's crazy, but as a last question on this part is, with so much that has happened, what are you most grateful for, and what are you most hopeful for?
I'm grateful for having another chance at life after what's happened. I'm grateful for my family being beside me, and I'm grateful for after the explosion, I made new friends, I made new connections, and I made a lot of new. It changed the way I look at life. So I'm grateful for that. I appreciate things a lot more. So I'm really grateful for that because it's gonna give me like I appreciate life a lot more. So I'm surely going to be happier and from now on. And the second thing, what was it again?
Most hopeful for?
Hopeful for. Well, I really hope for this country to catch a break because I really feel really bad when I see the amount of poverty we are passing through, and the inflation is skyrocketing. uh, it's really sad because you can't be happy, you can't be positive when all around you are not happy, when all the people around you are really suffering. So I'm really hopeful that this country will come back at its feet and its people will just have the basics of life until they can actually live properly, because right now we're surviving only, we're not living. I just want that to my country, to the people here, just so they can not waste their time just surviving.
Yeah, survival doesn't allow for much else than surviving. You can't be creative. You can't do anything. Well, I'm hopeful for, growing up in Montreal, I had a lot of Lebanese friends. There's a big community in Montreal. And I'm hopeful someday visiting you in Beirut and maybe having some pita and falafels and who knows what.
You're most welcome, and please don't hesitate to come when you come here.
You got it. Hey, thank you so much for joining. I look forward to continuing our relationship and hopefully supporting you any way we can as well. So thanks for being here.
Mark, thank you very much. Thank you.